two kind of ways we can develop using the Aura components, and then one is web components. First, we will see the Aura component. What is this? So, what is a Lightning? The Lightning component framework is a UI framework for developing a single page applications for mobile and desktop applications. Means whatever the application you are seeing, Salesforce application, right? This is desktop application. Okay, how place on the or systems. Okay, that the applications for mobiles as well. Okay, how that will be displayed here. We have the Aura components to develop the applications for single page application. Single page application means here if you see any of the page like layout or something, it will be single page. There will be no next button or previous button something. It will be only single page application. Let me explain this. Here, so if you want to create any training record or any of the record related to any object, if you click on new button, it open one page here. Okay, so this is single page application. It's not taking one field value in the first page, and when you click on next page it will be redirecting to some other page like that. It's not like this. So everything will be single page applications. So like this you can develop single page applications using the Aura components and LWC, means Lightning Web Components as well. Okay. These are Lightning Aura components. Lightning Web components will be there. I will explain later. So what is Aura component? The Aura components will always start with Aura tag. Okay. Let me see here. So you have to study this developer guide, Lightning framework. Okay. So what is Lightning and how? See, if you observe here, it will give you. Lightning includes the Lightning component framework and some exciting tools for developers. Mostly, this Lightning components, whatever it is, Aura component or the web components, you need to learn JavaScript. First one is HTML based. Second one, JavaScript. Third one, HTML, sorry, CSS. So these three are the very major important rules it plays. Okay, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. What is HTML? HTML means hypertext markup language. It is used to design the web pages. See, even if you take any web page, any page what you open in the browser, everything is a page and everything is a web page. So if you click on a right click and see the view page source, it will be all the tags. See here, this link, head, HTML, okay, and then this is the JavaScript, okay, this is head and head link HTML. These are the HTML tags. Okay, meta is HTML tag. Everything is related to the HTML. Okay, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Okay, so these are all means whatever the page you open, it opens in the HTML format. See this view page source. If you see, style means CSS. Okay, div is the HTML tag, meta is the HTML tag, function is JavaScript. Okay, window is DOM object. Okay, and then function. Everything is JavaScript and HTML. JavaScript, HTML, JavaScript, HTML. Okay, see this everything. So this is this Aura components are web components. Both are built on the HTML. So better to learn HTML first. Okay. So you guys try on this one and JavaScript. Okay. So what is this programming model? Out of the box sets we have. So what is the out of the box? Usually we will be talking about out of the box. Out of the box means, let's say, if I have given one requirement like whenever a contact is updated, update its parent account. Okay, then you can use workflow, sorry, process builder, or let's say even workflow field update also you can do it. Means whenever a contact phone is updated, if you want to update the accounts phone number, then you can go for the field update in the workflow. And then you have process builder and you have flows as well. Okay, these three are called out of the box. Means whatever the tools you have already to achieve one functionality implementation, that is called the out of the box. If you want to send some email alerts, you have workflows, process builders, flows. These are called out of the box. Whenever a functionality is not achievable through the out of the box functionality, then you have to go for your own builder. Means your own code like triggers or the Apex code, feature method, keyable Apex, batch Apex, schedule Apex, whatever ones, invocable method. So whenever you are not able to achieve a functionality through the out of the box components, then you can go for the development. That's called as customization. Okay, configuration, customization. So in development and administration. So administration is called as customization. Development, sorry, configuration. Okay, then development is called as customization. Okay, you have to build your own, and Aura components is including out of the box components. Out of the box components means inside the Salesforce, however, we have profiles, permission sets, and workflows, process builders, roles, and these are all out of the box. The same way in Aura also there are some tags which are already provided. Okay, I'll explain this later. Don't worry. And then event-driven architecture. So Aura component follows the event-driven architecture. Okay, then events process console. It's okay. Okay, so let's go. In Aura components, you will be having two kind of components. One is application components, application. Second one is component. These two are the major things. If you want to create an application like the sales or services, then you can create one application. Hmm? Okay, so in Salesforce, you will be, sorry, in Lightning, okay, you will be having HTML file, or let's say markup file. Markup file. Markup file means whatever the UI design you are going to do, that you will be doing through the markup. Then JavaScript files. Okay. In JavaScript files, there will be two things. One is controller and second one is helper. Okay. CSS files will be there and SVG file will be there. Design file will be there. Okay. Renderer will be okay. One more will be there. I'll explain this. CSS, SVG. Okay. So let's go ahead and create small application and you can understand how to do this. Okay. So go to the file and create new Lightning application first. application. I'm going to give the name like test application. Okay. When you save this one, means whenever you create lightning bundle, if you see this is lightning bundle. It is called as Aura bundle also. Aura bundle definition. Okay. Test application. Just click submit. See, if you see this, okay, this is one main component. When you create application component, this is called Aura colon application. Aura means this is one namespace. Okay, like you will be C. By default namespace is C. C for common. Okay, so this is Aura components. When whatever the component you want to access from the Aura, then you have to give Aura column. Okay, application is one tag. Okay, so what attributes you have? Like, let me explain this first. Aura component, Aura will be having these many files. See this application is the markup, controller, helper. These two are JavaScript files. Style, this is CSS file. Renderer, SVG. Okay, so the basic interview question will be, what are the different components or different files will be there inside the application bundle? How many are there? 3, 3, 6, 7. Okay, application, controller, helper. These two JavaScript files, CSS file, documentation is on the document file, renderer is rendering file, SVG. Okay, so I'm going to give like this is my first application. Lightning design styles. Okay, SLDS means Salesforce Lightning design styles. This is just CSS components. Okay, let's learn this later. Now let's go ahead and check what is Aura application attribute. Aura application. This is the tag. So these are all called tags. Okay, Aura application is one tag. So each and every tag should be having one start tag and another end tag. See, if you miss any end tag, it will be a problem and it will throw some error. Okay, so here this is the application tag. In application tag, you can have these many attributes. What is attribute? Attribute is here. Extends is one attribute. The same way you can have access, controller, description, extends. Okay, then extensible, okay, implements, template, tokens, use, app, cache. Okay? These are the attributes, body. Okay? These many attributes you have in the Aura application, but you don't need all, but you have to remember that what are the different attributes are there. Okay, now we'll see very small way of. Okay, so I just need to now let's go ahead and SLTS. SLTS. I can't explain you for basic like HTML also I can't do this. Just go ahead and write this. Sign token. Accessibility. Steals. So here, if you say this, this is how it looks like. Let's say if I want to assign the absolute center, see if you see this is at right side, right? Sorry, left side. Okay, this is at left side. So what you need to do is, if you want to assign this in middle of the screen, then we have SLS, absolute center. This you guys have to learn this. And height, if you want to make the change for height. So this is for division. Okay. See here, copy that. If you learn HTML, this will be very helpful and it will give major advantage for you guys. See this is at the center of the screen. Okay, so this is how you will be having a lot of screens, like if you want to give the border, if you want to make it box, then horizontal list layouts, so lot of things are there. Okay, so this is if you want to make SLDS box. See what it looks like, this class and this class. See, this is inside the box. Okay, so if you want to add two classes, see, this is center and box is added. Okay, if you want to add more than one class, this is called class. Class is nothing but cascading style sheets. How it works means CSS. Okay, SLES align absolute center. Absolute means exact center. SLES box means it should be in the box. Okay, height you are giving like this. If you want to give 20 pixels, this is height. Font size, if you want to give, you can give font size as well. Okay, so this is just basic how to use the SLDS and how to use this one. If you want to use the SLDS, you need to extend force column SLDS inside the application. Okay, mostly we don't create any application, but you'll be now just refresh. It is not that much easy for our and others. Just keep trying this. This is the application we have given, test app, right? So we have not created an application. Okay, fine. So this is how you have to create. Now let's see very simple thing. How can we define the attributes? Okay, let's say this is just a simple thing, right? Instead of this, what will go is I need to design an application. Okay, let's keep here. We'll create a component. Okay, so one application can have the same one application only. Inside the application, you can have any number of components, or one component can be called multiple times. Okay, So here, let's do one thing. We can create two things. One is just for addition of two applications. So you know this is user interface, right? For the user interface, what I need is inside the application, I need two boxes like this one, number one, number two. Okay, and here I need result. Okay, so like here use, you know this is number one, number two, then give result. Okay, so this is what we need to design the UI. So I have already explained, this is for user interface. User interface means for making the user interface means you are going to create. Okay, so how to declare the attributes inside the component or application? You have aura colon attribute. Okay, name equals to, you can give any name here, number one. Okay, then type, what type of, see usually, so usually what you are going to do, if you want to declare a variable in Apex, you have to define like uh, the access modifier. Simply I'll explain public, or let's say private access modifier, then type, data type, then variable name, right? And then equals to default value, right? So let's say here public number one, default value
Not audible, NG. You are not audible.
the Apex, like access modifier, data type, variable name, and default value, right? The same way, what you need to, same step you have to do first. So name, okay, or let's say whatever the type you have to do. Let's say first you have access equals to public, but even if you don't give, there is no issue. Then access modifier, then type, right? So type equals to integer, okay, then name equals to number one, then default equals to 0. Okay, so this the same way you can declare this. Okay, first access modifier, data type, then name, default value. Okay, the same way, or usually what we'll do is our attribute name equals to 2. You don't need to follow the same syntax. You can give anything. Type equals to integer. Okay. Default is to 0. Okay. Aura. Right. So we need three things like one for number one, second for number two, third one for result, right? Attribute name equals result, type equals to teaser, then default equals to 0. Okay, so this is how we have. Okay, so once you are done with this, okay, so you have to pause the values here. Okay, so for user interface, what you have to do is aura input. Okay, aura input. If you want to see the tag, you can use like aura attribute is one tag. Just see what are the supported aura attribute data types. Type is there, right? You have access, name, type, default. Required means if you need required, you can make it true, else you can just ignore. Description, summary of attribute, it will be helpful for the developers. Okay, and so let's see, aura input. Can use this remote. Okay, say this. In the lightning component library, this is series. How many type of values are there? Aura lightning input, okay, input address, input field, input name, rich text, okay. So here formatted flows. So let's go ahead and with the input, okay. So you want to enter type, see these many types. Input checkbox, type you have to give. Okay, so input type, date you can give, time, file, search, URL, number. Okay, we are going to give the number here. Okay, so if you want to check the syntax or specification, these are the things you can give. Name is important. Step something. Okay, first let's go ahead and use our input, correct, lightning input type equals to number. Okay, type equals to number, name equals to date, label equals to enter one. Okay, value equals to, this is very important. Okay, this is value. So if you enter one value here, where it has to, it should be stored in the number one. Okay, then what you need to give is the syntax of accessing the variable or attribute is give the flower brackets, inside the flower bracket exclamatory, then v means variable. Okay, this is the syntax. Square flower brackets, inside the flower brackets exclamatory symbol v. This is common, you have to by hand this one, then give this number one. Okay, so see how the output will be. This is enter one. Okay, number one. The same way add another thing, number two. Two. Okay, then horizontal break, or let's say give as, then if you want to display a value, you have to give lightning colon output. Okay, input means taking the value, output means displaying a value. Output label equals to result, value equals to the same thing, give it, we got result. Okay, lightning as you are displaying the number, just give like this, formatted number, then value is 3 dot result. Have output field, but we do not have. If you see, everything will be 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, we were using SLDS div, right? So you here div, div means separate division. Okay, like this. Title equals to align center. Okay, first it is displaying 3 values. Even if I change 10, then it's not 40 something, it's not updating the result. Okay, this is just user interface. You have created 3 attributes, and for 2 attributes you have created input field, I mean input the values, and one is for output value, formatted number. Okay, so here what to do, how to display the value on this. Okay, so for calculating these two addition of two numbers, you need to create one method here, one function inside the controller. Okay, calculate, perform addition. Okay, perform addition. So this is the controller class. Okay, you can have another one like helper method. So in this helper method, you can have your own logic. So in the controller, you should not have the business logic. Okay, so use addition, add. I'm giving just add component. Okay, so here component means the markup whatever you have, this entire thing will be in the component variable. Event means whenever you change the value or you click on the page or you mouse over, everything will be called as an event. Okay, so if you want to track that, that will be in the event. Then helper is nothing but this will be talking about this helper JavaScript function, JavaScript file, that's it. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is helper dot add of component dot event. Just understand this. I'm calling this one, this add function from helper, from controller. Okay, I just wrote the business logic inside. Okay, now here we need to get two values here, then we have to perform the addition. Okay, now here var a number one equals to means what you need to get, you have to get the value which is inside the number one variable. Okay, for that what you need to do is component. I have already explained. So everything inside this one, even with the values and everything will be in the component variable. Component variable. Component dot get of here C, sorry, V dot this one. Okay, see here you have given value like this one, right? Number one. The same V dot number one means then it will get the value, whatever that here it will give it. Say this, wait. the number 2. Okay. Number 2. I'm getting two values here. So once I get the two values, I have to perform result. Result equals to num1 plus num2. What you are doing, you are just getting two values from the component and then you are performing the addition. Once you perform the addition, you have to set the value, right? Then what you need to do, this is just like map. Remember that the component is just like map. So you have the get method in the map, right? When you get, the value will come out. When you want to put some value, what you have to do is component dot set. You have put method inside the apex. Here we have dot result. Then what is the value? Result. Okay, this is done. Okay, but here we are not saying when function should be called and when this addition functionality should be performed. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is on change. You have the events like on change means whenever the value is changed, then it will be there. C dot, C means controller. This is the controller, right? Controller dot which function it has to call for from addition. Okay, when it is changed means if number 1 is changed or number 2 is changed, I need to perform the addition and value will be set to result here. Just save it. Okay, now go ahead and change to 20. Okay, here 40. So what is this? 2040. This is not the correct way. 20 plus 40. It should be 60. Right? So because these two values, it is trying to consider as values. I mean this text, but that parse int. Parse int means instead of text, it will convert into the number. Then it will just get the values here. Parse int. Is something like, say this, 50. Okay, so 20 plus 50. When you change it, so it will be keep adding this. So I don't want to change like this. I just need a button. When you click on a button called add, then only it should be changed. But then what you can do is you have lightning button. Okay, explaining you and showing where you can get the alternatives as well. Lightning button. There also label will be there, action will be there. So nothing other than that. Okay. So when you see this lightning button, and you will get different buttons. See, base button, neutral button, brand outline, destructive text, success. Okay. However, you need the brand you can select here. Okay. So here, let's select the third one, brand. Okay. Lightning button. This is called out of the box. You can add each and everything in your brand. Okay, lightning brand. This is label is add. Okay, title is addition. Okay, should have calling from there. I'm just calling here and then remove this. Okay, now if you change here, see it directly won't change. When you click and add, we get the values. Okay, so any questions on this, guys? Any questions, or if you don't understand anything, just let me know. Okay, now see, we'll be having an application. Inside the application you are writing everything. Is not the best way to create application everywhere. What you can do is create component. Okay, I'm giving addition component. CMP means components. So when you want to create a lightning component, you can implement some tabs as well. Like if you want to create lightning tab, lightning page, lightning record page, lightning quick action, you can do this. Okay. So anyway, I'll explain this later. Don't worry on this. Okay. Component. See, it implements some interfaces. App hostable. If you make it app hostable, you can create quick action. Available for all page types. Quick action. If you want to create quick action, so if you want to create tab, it will be app hostable. See, if you observe here, see how many files are there? 8 files are there. Component, controller, helper, style, documentation, renderer, design. Okay, design SVG. The basic interview question is what are the different files will be in the component bundle? What are the different files will be in the application bundle? Okay, so difference is you have the design. Is that design? No. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to